Hey, Loco Sports fans, Thursday night, and tomorrow is Friday, and it's November, so that means it's time for some high school
Playoffs.
football playoffs. Playoffs. We told you last night about all the SCISA brackets. We will go through the high school league brackets tonight and break down all the Loco matchups. But first, we're going to talk with Jalen Singletary from Hampton County, definitely one of the hottest Loco teams going into the playoffs. I think Hilton Head and Hampton are, our two best shots to go deep on the high school league side. We talked last night about a couple of teams that we think have a chance to make it all the way to the championship, and on the SCISA side. But we'll see tonight what all we got happening on the high school league side. Marcus Walsh and Max Araj should be joining us in due time. But Justin Jarrett, Westcar with you tonight on the Loco Sports Lowdown to start things off. And again, we'll have Jalen Singletary joining us here shortly. But looking at the games that we'll be looking at tonight, we got in 4A, South Aiken at Hilton Head in a number 2 versus 15 matchup, but an interesting one. We'll talk later about how the last 2 times they played, it was in the playoffs, and South Aiken won at the Nest. So hopefully we buck that trend tomorrow night. Gilbert at Bluffton, that one will be on Buford's own, and Marcus Walsh will be joining Javon Livingston on the call for that one. So we'll hear more from Marcus about the research he's uncovered on Gilbert and what he's thinking about that game. Wilson and May River at the Tank. That should be a good one. And then Beaufort at South Point in the upper state bracket in Class 4A, a rematch of that state championship game a few years back. And then in 3A, Battery Creek at Loris, undefeated Loris. In 2A, Lake City at Hampton County. Again, we'll be talking about Jalen Singletary shortly. And Whale Branch at Phillips Simmons. And then in 1A, Bethune-Bowman at Ridgeland and Lakeview at Hardyville. So that's your slate, and we'll be breaking them all down in great detail and checking out the brackets. But how you doing, Wes? It's almost playoff time, man.
It's almost the weekend. It's almost first round playoffs, which is it's always very chaotic because we have a bunch of games going on. We got 16 playoff games on Friday nights, so buckle up. It's going to be a very busy evening and a lot to check along the way. So we'll definitely be frantic at work trying to track down all 16 of those scores as we host tomorrow night show. I'll be at the Nest to catch the Hilton Head Seahawks. Second year in a row they've been in the playoffs, but it has been hard to come by in their recent history in terms of hosting playoff games. So this year, just took what they did last year to a whole nother level. 2 seed in the state. I don't think anyone saw that coming as a Seahawk fan myself, and just tremendous credit to everybody on that squad and Coach BJ Payne for what they've done. But I'm pumped to see what Hilton Head can do this year, and a great opportunity to take this run deep. But I'm very excited about this lower state 4A bracket as a whole. I think it's cool that we got to 3 teams hosting games: Hilton Head, Bluffton, and May River,
Right.
all finishing above Bishop England. So that's cool. That's a great accomplishment for our Loco squads, especially Bishop England winning the region last year, being the favorite, and it was not fun for them to trek into the Loco this year. So give credit to Hilton Head, give credit to Bluffton, and give credit to May River for getting the top 3 seeds in this region.
And we do have a one game going on tonight in this bracket. South Florence is smoking Darlington 41-7 in the third quarter. So top seed looking like they'll advance tonight.
Yeah, no shocker there. The Bruins in control, and they're looking like, I mean, they're looking like a solid favorite. But I don't think it's out of the question that someone else can find a way to knock them off. But they're the 1 seed, and Hilton Head, of course, the 2. So interesting to see how that goes. Of course, Beaufort also in the playoffs, but they are in the upper state bracket as they head to South Point take on East Stallions.
That's right. And our guest has arrived, a frequent guest at this point. We've had him on a few times, but he keeps making headlines, and he's got his team his team is looking good, and he's right there leading them. We got Agent Zero in the house, Jalen Singletary. What's going on, man?
What's up, man?
Always good to have you. More accolades coming your way. I know you got the North South nod, which is great. And I'm sure you got some region awards that are going to be coming up as well. And you got the first D1 offer just
Yes,
yesterday,
sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
Just put it out there. The Citadel came calling. So just catch us up, man. Tell us about what this season's been like and how life is for Agent Zero right now.
Mostly it's been great. I like the way that my team prepared this year, better than last year. We've been focusing on taking every week day by day, and honestly, it just been with a running back. It come a great O line, tight end, and H back. Like I can't go anywhere without them. The way we practice, the blocks and everything, it's just great. Like I can't go nowhere without them. And I was expecting a great year at running back other than DB last year. I had a great year at DB, then I switched to running back. So I was expecting a better year at running back this year.
10-4,
Yeah.
10-4. Well, you're having a great year. I haven't checked your numbers. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, but you might be able to. I know that you lead the entire state in touchdowns, I think, right?
Yes, sir.
At least according to Max Preps, and you'd think anybody who's in the running would have their numbers in there. But you got 1,555 rushing yards, 155.5 per game. 26 touchdowns on the ground, and then you've also got a touchdown reception, and you got a couple kick returns too, right? And interception return, fumble return. You got like every kind of touchdown you can get just about. But no, tell us more about this year's team and what makes you guys a little different. You know, last year you had that tough loss at Manning in the playoffs. It was a weird game. It felt like you were in control and then you weren't all of a sudden. But you know, coming back this year, what makes this team better prepared to get back to that you know, maybe that lower state championship game or even further?
From last year to this year, I feel like it's more leadership in the practices and in games, like what we translate, what we do in practice Monday through Thursday. Then Friday, it really just be easy. We have way more leaders that show us how it's done, and we really communicate with our team better.
And you have been a big part of that as a big time leader this year. So, how have you set an example as a veteran of this team to help those underclassmen achieve success in whatever roles they may have to make this team better?
Sometimes I feel like I'm a more of a show type of leader, so I'll like really show you how it's done, and just my actions. Just I'm more of an action leader, so I would just
Mhm.
do them and tell them how it's done. Say yes sir to coach, so they know like even though I'm a star player, like I still follow the rules, and you should too.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean, sometimes the star players will kind of take advantage of their status, and that ends up kind of, you know, putting a little bit of a wedge in the team. You know, you see guys that get away with stuff that other guys don't. But no, that's a good point. It's important for your leaders to be self accountable and hold yourself to the same standard that everybody else is expected to, so that you don't have that going on. And you guys seem to be running on all cylinders right now. Obviously, you had that tough stretch earlier where you lost three in a row, but I think we would all agree that you were better for it. I mean, you guys were a better team when you came through the other side of that. And was everybody? What did it get a little dicey after that? I mean, when you get a 3 game losing streak, sometimes some of those guys start to kind of, you know, I don't know if this is all worth it. But were you guys strong throughout and just came through it?
No sir, we when tough time when adversity hits, we tend to stick together. Like our
Yeah,
coach Paul always preach about brotherhood. Like we don't never come apart as a brotherhood. We all just stick together when adversity strikes.
that's the
Yeah,
key,
I mean
man.
that's the key. And you guys have had some adversity this year. Um, and most notably that tough stretch where you played against some quality. I mean, adversity in the sense that you've had to like go up against good teams. I mean, you look at Hilton
Yeah,
Head, Bluffton, a couple of other toughs on the road, which you nearly had. You had a couple of really good,
Christchurch
yeah,
almost got them.
Christchurch almost
Yeah.
got him. So just talk to me about those couple of games and what you learned from them and how you kind of turned the page from that and then just dominated your region this year.
From them 3 games we lost from Hilton Head, we learned to actually finish the game. We started off very good, and something happened with the weather, and we came out
Yeah.
and let them we let them have more energy coming out and finish better than us. So that game, we learned to, like, it's 0-0 after halftime. It's 0-0. No matter what the score is, we gonna play like how we came out. Nothing less. If we win in 50-0 or 14-14, it's 0-0, and the team that comes out with the most energy and play together is gonna win the ball game after the first half. Because everybody is excited to play when the first game starts and when we come out of half, but nobody's ready to play at the second half and the fourth quarter.
Yeah. And the fourth quarter is where you win games, man. I mean, that's where you get it done, because that's when the weakness starts leaving the body, right? You start to get tired. But you guys are set up well. You went through your region without any trouble, dominated all those games. Now you get to build back up the competition level a little bit, starting with Lake City, but then it's going to get pretty tough right away in round 2. So what are you guys looking to do this Friday? You had a week off. You cruised through your last few games. What are you guys looking to do early on to just kind of establish things and make sure you guys get back on track and don't have any rust?
We are trying to stick to the game plan we had since we found out we was playing Lake City. We watched a lot of film and we picked up on a lot of keys that they do and what we could do to win the game. So, and we need to work on what we could do as a team where other teams have to prepare more for us. Like, so I'm not just the only threat. There's so many threats on our team. They have to prepare all week for it. If they even slip up once in practice, they don't have a good practice, that put us at an advantage because they didn't prepare for all of our team.
And that's where you guys really thrive. Just the way that you guys have really amped things up on offense. And of course, you have been a big part of that. I got to watch, I was at the Hilton Head game, and man, just some tremendous touchdown runs from yourself in that one. But your team has really grown throughout the year. Of course, you look at what guys like Desmond Mathis has done, Terrell Grant. So you've had some guys who've been able to help you out along the way. Just talk to me about some of those others who have been big, potent factors in your offense, and how Terrell Grant has improved as an all-around quarterback.
First, with Terrell Grant, he came from wide receiver to quarterback, and I must say he did an amazing job. He knows probably the plays better than I do. He could tell me what the line's finna do before they do it, so I can have a better read at running back. Because if you know all the positions and what they finna do, it'll make you a better all-around player.
Mm-hmm.
And we also got our wide receivers, Carrington Sabb, Tyler Davis, Desmond Mantle, like you said, like they are great blockers. Like as far as like route running, they all got it. The speed, the athleticism. But when it comes to as a team and how they block for me, it's phenomenal. Like I wouldn't be nowhere without the receivers. And like I said, with a running back, a good running back comes a good O-line. All my O-line great. Like they miss a block, it's no arguing. Like they ask what they did wrong and we move on to the next play.
Exactly.
And what we've been dominant at is a tight end set. Like that's the most dominant we've been at this year. And Jasmine Goins, number 23, like he is great. Like when we put him in, like teams have to prepare for our tight end set. Like it's phenomenal.
Jazz, that's one of my first guys I connected with on the Estill sidelines years ago when he was just a freshman over there, trying to get in the game here and there. But he's tough. He's gotten thick. He's a big old battering ram in front of you now. No, you got to have great downfield blocking because you break like 50, 60, 70, 80, 90-yard runs every week. And that doesn't happen without some downfield blocking because otherwise those DBs will take an angle on you. But no, just take us through this process for you at Hampton County because you were coming in right when the schools were coming together and now you've been a part of this program for a few years and gone from kind of the little brother to that first group that came through to now being a leader. So just take us through these last couple of years and tell us about what it's been like being a part of this.
When I first came here, like I didn't understand of the process, the standard, and the little things. As I grew, I realized what my coach was trying to tell me about how little things matter. Like when I first got here, I couldn't tell you what they were saying. Like I didn't understand one thing they said.
But you thought you knew everything, right?
I thought I knew everything. Like I thought I knew everything about the sport. My athleticism gonna take me anywhere. But I realized like they start the process in January. Like if when the season ends in December, we plan on going to the state championship. That the next season starts in January. They don't wait until spring or in the spring practices or summer to start the process. Like they start
championships are won in the off season. That's what they say,
Absolutely.
and I 100% agree with that statement. A lot of the work that you do happens from between January and the summer to get better and to go in the weight room and to refine yourself as a football player and as an athlete. So I love how you said that. It's incredibly important to have that year-round attitude. And talk to me about you guys preach brotherhood and togetherness. Talk to me about what that means to you as you go forward in the playoffs and look to really bond even closer together in this brotherhood and find a way to avenge certainly a bitter taste that was left last year in that first round playoff defeat.
What they mean to me is we had a talk this weekend. We think time is the most valuable thing on this earth. Like the time I spent with my brothers at this team, you can never get that back. But the memories I got with them is something I'm gonna have for the rest of my life. Like time is the most valuable thing. Money is not. You can always go get some money, but the memories I got with them will never be made again, and I'll have with me for the rest of my life. We do everything together as a brotherhood. We lift weights together. We practice together. We do everything together. When we all win, that's how I got my accolades, my solo accolades. I wouldn't be there without them. The more my team succeed, that's how I succeed. So that's what the brother like. I have amazing people that I met through football that really is my family for life.
Amen, brother. Amen. Well, you got that first big offer, first D1 offer from the Citadel. Is the military school life for you, or are you still fielding offers out there?
I mean, it can be for me. It's a great school. I've been there twice this year in the span of this 2 months of the season, and it teaches you a lot of things about life. Every day is not gonna be a good day over there, but every day in life is not great.
Especially that first year.
Yeah, that first year is gonna be. I heard they're really bad over the freshmen, and the football team is really great. And especially, I did a lot of research on the Citadel and on the visits. It's a great school to graduate from.
Yeah.
So,
what are you looking to study?
Criminal justice, or if I want that role in the military, I can skip a few things because I graduated from the Citadel.
True.
Yeah.
Go into Officer Candidate school.
Yeah, it's a great place.
School.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm eager to see what other offers come your way in the next few weeks.
Talk about as a player, as what you have done yourself, throughout your career. Talk to me about what you need to do as you get ready for this first round playoff game coming up Friday. What are you hoping to do to try to make an impact? And obviously you're going to make a big impact in this game, but just talk to me about what are you hoping to accomplish and do leadership wise to help your guys have the best chance of not just winning on Friday, but making a deep run this year in a two-way playoff bracket, which I really think is wide open for the taking.
I agree.
I'm hoping to accomplish the first thing I want to accomplish is the tools. Like when we come out, like the backups that we have, we can't play the whole game. I'm hoping to accomplish my leadership builds the tools and the other people I play defense with their confidence. Like from playing with Hampton County so long, I can tell you what everybody does on the field, and I'm hoping that they have the confidence to play their best abilities every game. Like they don't depend on someone else to make the call, or they could just play at the best of ability. Because everybody does their job. The game plan that my coach laid out, they probably won't score a point if everybody does the job.
What was it like playing with Zion Dobson a few years ago, and what impact did he leave on you? Is because obviously you kind of assumed his position after he left. So kind of what mark did he leave on you as you kind of became that go-to running back and just a really important two-way guy moving forward. But just what did he teach you as a football player in person?
As a man, he taught me that like the hard work you put in is always gonna come back to you. Like you never seen Zion skip a rep. You never seen him be late to practice without communication. You always seen Zion be the first one there. Like, and as a running back, he always put me under his wing. Everything that he did in practice, he made sure I saw. Even when I was a DB, he was like, "This might be you one day, so you need to listen." And he corrected me when I was, yeah, that young kid. Like I'm playing DB. I don't want to play offense. Like he corrected me when I was just full of everything as a kid, as a youngin'. And Zion, we just talked before, like 2 days before I got the offer yesterday. And he was like, just be patient, like just trust God, like everything that he did, and it
Yeah.
happened. Like Zion, a really important person in my life.
And he had to wait late in the game before he started getting some
Yeah.
offers, right? Like he
Hmm
was
I believe, yes. It
even
was a
even with
winner.
some serious accolades. So I love that he told you just be patient. You know, it's coming for
Yeah.
you too.
Yeah.
But man, you have you've had a great run, and I've watched you grow up. They call you Dion 2.0, right? Because they call
Yeah.
Zion Dion
Hmm
Dion. So you were Dion 2.0.
Yes, sir.
Um, did that? Did you feel some pressure to live up to that, to fill those shoes? I mean,
I felt a lot of pressure. Gatorade Player of the Year ain't something you easy can
Right.
do in the season. Like especially me playing both sides of the ball and living up to his shoes. It's been hard, but I
I think
always
you're
talk to
feeling them.
him and just I always try to. He always tell me to learn all I can as a player because if I know everything that everybody's doing, that makes
Yep.
me a better player, a better running back.
More
Two
as
steps
as
ahead of
much as
everybody.
possible. Yep.
He always told me to be a yes sir kid because if you say yes sir, you consume all the knowledge that you
Right.
can. And he,
Amen.
and he told me yes sir, it take you a long way when he graduated, and
Yep.
that's the thing I remember every time I talk about him, and
I love
that's
that.
who made me who I am.
Yep.
I love that, man. Good
How
stuff.
much how much you enjoy being a part of this program and seeing the energy that this town and those fans exert, especially in those home games.
I go
Uh,
crazy.
what do you like most about just the overall energy of playing football in Hampton County?
The community is great in Hampton County. Like every time it's a sport, especially football, but other sports like the community,
And
it
they
brings the
love
community.
basketball too.
Yeah, it's the community. Like it brings the community together. Like if it's a football game, everybody there, nobody's arguing. Like everybody just here to enjoy a game. You can meet new people, and the community loves to help us like donations and stuff. So it brings the community together in Hampton County. Like it could be, when we combined from Estill and Wade had to combine, like they thought it was gonna be chaos, but football really brought us together as one. Now we
Amen.
Absolutely.
just it really we some people forget Estill and Wade hadn't existed because
Right?
football really brought us together.
Oh yeah, they love having everybody on one team. All of a sudden, it's like, oh man, we didn't realize how good we might be if we put everybody
Yeah.
on one team. But no, it's been so cool to watch that all come together and to see that culture build. And there's no better place on Friday night. I mean, tell me what it feels like during the hurricane walk. It's got to give you so much juice, man. I mean, it's so
Uh,
intense, and they're just going crazy as you walk across there. Take me through your mindset as you do the hurricane walk.
when I'm not walking out as a captain to flip the coin toss, and I probably get to do the walk tomorrow, first playoff
Yeah,
game, and you just see everybody. I can't lie, I really do be nervous. Like even as I don't know how I'm gonna play, you see everybody here watching you, and one time you gotta lead us, and
yeah,
Yeah.
it just you just feel everybody cheering for you. Like it just make you feel like you some type of hero to the community. And I
yeah,
hope everybody on my
Exactly
team feel
right.
like that. You just feel like you brought everybody together to see a show, and you part of the show. It's kind of crazy.
yeah. You are kind of heroes in the community. I mean, you're kind of the heroes of the story. You brought two communities together through football. Like it's a hero's journey type story. It's a beautiful thing, man. I hope you guys can make a deep run. I got the bracket here to look at your path. You got Lake City obviously tomorrow night, and then it could be either Andrews or Shara. I think I kind of like Shara in that one, but I think both teams will put up a good fight, and then it could be a trip back to Manning, where you guys were knocked out last year. What do
Uh,
you remember about that game, and does that make you want to face them again and get a chance at?
I really, really want to face Madden. That game, I played a total of about 5 snaps.
Yeah,
I was injured, and it really hurt to see my team lose, and I couldn't do anything about it. So I really hope I line up against Manning again. I really
Thought you
hope.
might say that.
Yep.
I thought you might say that.
Yeah,
And then
got
if you
it.
get past that, we're talking about a lower state championship game again, what you guys got there a couple years ago and fell short against
Don't worry about
Oceanside in a really good game. But there's no Oceanside here this time. It looks like maybe Central or Phillips 7. So you feel like you have to feel like you guys have a real shot to go to Columbia and have a chance to win a state championship.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I really think I see Philip Simmons coming out with it.
Yeah,
But
they're
any
tough.
team we face, the game plan that we have, the way we work and practice, like if you see the way we practice, like it's so competitive in games. Like the games, I'm not even tired. Like I'm just sitting here, like I already saw that on film. I saw that in practice. Like it just feels like I'm just there.
Feels like slow motion when you get to
Yeah,
game
it's
day,
just
huh?
like I seen it before
Like a
so much
video game.
times.
Yeah, like a video game.
So it's all about just that muscle memory. Once you get into it, I mean, sometimes you feel the nerves when you start a playoff game because the winner go home kind of deal. But once you get into it, it's all muscle memory. You're right back in
The adrenaline takes
any
over.
other game. So yeah, just talk about how key the start's going to be for you guys and what you want to do in the first 10, 15 minutes to get yourself on the right foot to roll past Lake City in round one.
I feel like the performance we put on tomorrow can strike fear into the teams that we're finna play. Like no, I don't want to play against Hampton County. Like we're gonna do everything in our power to stop us, and I want them to prepare like their life is on the line. Like I want to win. Like win is the most important thing. If it's 9-0, 9-8, I want to win. But if we can pull off a win that we're dominant in, they have so much things to prepare for us for. It's gonna overthink their mind.
Okay, so you're trying to show it all this week and just get in their heads.
I'm trying to prepare it every week like I'm playing for that state championship.
Yes, sir. That's the way to do it. You got to win them all. You can't slip up and lose one now. You got to win them all to get it all. So, well, good stuff, man. Great talking with you, Jalen. As I said, it's been awesome to watch your career develop and get to know you. Tremendous young man and destined for great things. And we look forward to seeing some more offers roll in and hearing from you about the big decision in a few months, man.
Yes, sir.
All right. Take care, Jalen. We'll talk to you real soon. Go Canes.
All right, man.
Let it. That's Jalen Singletary. Good stuff, man. I love that kid. And I love how he's been humbled and he admits I was that young kid who thought I knew everything and I didn't and I had to I had to kind of come to terms with that and start falling in line a little bit more and picking up the little details, and you've definitely seen it in his performance. I mean, he has become just a lethal weapon on offense. He's still as good a DB as you're going to find in the area, maybe in the state. He's an impact player every time he touches the ball and every time he's near it, and he's fun to watch, man. I think he's got a chance. They've got a chance to go a long way with him leading the way and that great supporting cast that he talked about.
Yep. I mean, this Hampton County team, I think there's just extra hunger when you look at what happened in that Manning game. It was just one of the more heartbreaking losses that we have seen. But I just, you look at Jalen Singletary and you look at what he brings to the team, the intangibles as well as just his pure athleticism on the field. Special player, really special player. And I think he wants it more for the team than himself. I just feel like he is that kind of guy. And I think that's really going to show itself. Obviously, he's going to be the guy who gets the majority of the big time carries, but I think other guys are going to want to step up around him. I feel really bullish on this Hampton County team heading in the playoffs, the way they have played in region, the way those games beforehand have really prepared them to dominate region play and continue it from there. But I like the way this offense is running into form, and it's all going to be a matter of can they open the holes to let Jalen Singletary do his thing, and they have a defense that will keep them competitive in these games going forward. So I still think look, Hilton Head's a great team, but just 4A is so tough, and I really think
Yeah,
Hampton County is still the team with the best odds to make it to
I agree.
South Carolina State. Correct? Is that where they're still having the state championship
Yeah, I
games?
believe so. Yeah, I believe that's the
All
case.
right.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think they have the most the best path. I don't think they have any trouble with Manning this year. I really don't.
I
I think they're gonna kind of go through it until
I
they
like
get to
them
that
and
lower
Simmons
state championship game.
as you
Yeah,
mentioned
I do
earlier.
too. I think Central's very good too.
Yep.
I wouldn't be
Now, if
surprised if
Central
Central
does
came out of
win,
that.
then the Hampton hosts the lower state championship.
Correct.
Yep.
But I think that's a very real possibility. I think Central's right there in that top tier
Well,
teams
if it's
along with
Hampton, is that what you want? I
Philip
mean, you
Simmons
rather
and
play?
Hampton.
Would you rather play Central at home versus
I
having to
think
go to
so.
Hampton? Yeah.
I think
Yep.
you would. I mean, I think they're expecting it to be Simmons in a sense, but I think you'd certainly be like happy to be surprised to get to play at home. That's a
Right.
huge advantage for them. So I think that's what you have to hope for is that you get the home game. Plus the gate. I mean, the gate's
Yep.
real in the playoffs. That's a lot of money
Yep.
that you pick up.
Yes.
So and you don't
And
have
you have one
transportation
of the best fan
costs and
bases in high school league,
yeah,
in my
they're gonna
opinion.
pack it
Yep.
out. So and at that
And
stage, you're
when
gonna get a
when
good
you get
visiting
down to
gate
that
too.
point, you're gonna get guys coming in from Patrick Henry, from
Sure,
Thomas. Like everybody's gonna come
from
over
all
and
over the
yep,
place,
yep,
and if it's a good enough matchup, you might really draw people
yep,
from a long, big radius. So, um, yeah, I mean that would be ideal. That would be amazing to have a
yep,
lower state final at Hampton. Would be
yep, yep.
unbelievable.
Hey,
We'll see if we get
I'd
there.
love to be busy during the day after Thanksgiving. It's always a good sign.
Hell yeah. It's a great thing.
Yep.
Great thing. Well, while we wait for Marcus and Max a little bit longer, we'll stall a little bit by looking at the brackets, starting with the 4A bracket, which we got here. We told you South Florence winning big tonight over Darlington. So they're going to advance and they'll take on the winner of Bishop England and Lower Richland next week. Bluffton and Gilbert, we'll preview that one later. The Bobcats at home in that one. It'll be on Beaufort's own. North Augusta at Midland Valley or at home against Midland Valley. I think that is an interesting region rematch as well. Gray Collegiate taking on Brooklyn Casey. That should be a fairly easy win for Gray, I would think. Hartsville and Crestwood is a pretty good region matchup again. May River Wilson with the Sharks at home, and then Hilton Head at home against South Aiken. So we've got a possible Hilton Head May River rematch in round 2. That could come to pass. It would be at the Nest, and then Bluffton, if they get through, would be looking at North Augusta or Midland Valley. I don't have the 4A upper state bracket made out, but Beaufort is the 16 seed in that one, so they're at the
Yep.
top
They
of the
gotta go all
bracket,
the way to
traveling
South
to
Point.
South Point.
Yep.
That's going to be tough. I think South Florence is the team to beat here. I think Gray's right there in the same tier with Hilton Head and maybe North Augusta. But I don't know. Midland Valley is my kind of hot upset pick here. My
Yeah.
13-4.
Yeah, they've
I'm
been
interested
trending in
in
the right
that.
direction.
Yeah,
I'm intrigued by that
and
4-way bracket. Midland Valley looks like they might pull off a shocker. But I really do like Hilton Head and their portion of the bracket. But if they get May River, that's far from a cakewalk having to play them again.
right.
That game was a lot closer
Yeah,
than the score indicated
a lot of
game at May River.
self-inflicted stuff from May River
So
on
if
that one.
the Sharks execute in that game, it could be a completely different contest. So if those two teams meet, I mean, all bets are off for what that game could be like. Obviously, May River has some work to do to get past Wilson in that first round game. Obviously we'll get into those previews coming up, but I like obviously all three teams are home, but I feel like they're all going to be in for some tough matchups. I don't think there's any gimmies, although I do like Hilton Head tomorrow.
Yeah,
Even that one, Seahawks going to have to really continue the style of game that we have seen. I mean, there are very few easy ones this time of year, and certainly the history still haunts them until they can get it done. So
right.
I'll be nervous tomorrow,
Yeah,
until we get a sizable lead. It's win or go home. You got to
yep.
bring your best, or you're putting off the Pats the last time.
Max Raj has joined us on the Loco Sports Lowdown, brought to you by Mickelson Law Firm and WHHI TV, our all-star sponsors. Mickelson with us since the beginning, our official real estate closing attorney and presenting sponsor of our Hilton Head Christian Academy coverage, and WHHI TV, our longtime partners in local sports. We appreciate their support. We enjoyed being the pregame sponsors on WHHI's coverage this year, and Max Raj, a part of that team. Welcome, Max. We just went through the 4A bracket. Looking at the 3A bracket, you got Oceanside Collegiate sitting up at the top there, the favorite, but a couple of teams that could challenge them, Newberry and Loris, both coming in undefeated. Dillon with just one loss by 1 point to Loris. So, I think all those teams are legitimate contenders. You got Oceanside against Georgetown, winless Georgetown. That should be a slaughter. Swansea and Marlborough County. That one will be at Swansea. Good matchup there. Silver Bluff at home against North Charleston. Dillon gets Fox Creek. Battery Creek going to Loris. That should be a tough one for Battery Creek. Keenan at Orangeburg Wilkinson. Waccamaw at Hanahan. Waccamaw. Ron Costello, one of his favorites. And Socrates. And Newberry taking on Aner. Aner down this year. Newberry up. They're good. They're maybe our best hope to take down Oceanside if you're that kind of person like me who roots against the behemoths. So we'll see how that one plays out. But I think Oceanside's the team to beat. But I think whoever comes out of that Newberry-Loris matchup is going to be a problem. It's going to be like when Hampton County played them a couple years ago, and it's going to be a fight. We looked at the 2A bracket a little bit. Hampton taking on Lake City in round one, Andrews and Sherraw. Manning gets Academic Magnet at home, and then Timberland at home against Barnwell. That second round matchup there, Manning against Timberland, could be very good. Central Kingstree and Lake Marion, East Clarendon. I like East Clarendon for an upset special. I saw them this year. I like them. They're tough. They slipped up and lost one they shouldn't have in region, and it dropped them to the 3 seed when they could have been the 1. But I like Central to come out of that little pod. And then Philip Simmons, Whale Branch, and Atlantic Collegiate Woodland. That Atlantic Collegiate Woodland's an interesting matchup too, but I don't think either one can get past Philip Simmons there. So I think we're looking at Hampton against either Simmons or Central in my mind. We'll see. And then in 1A, Cross gets a bye. Ridgeland at home against Bethune-Bowman. Scotts Branch home against Hannah Pamplico. Branchville going to Johnsonville. Allendale to Carvers Bay. Lakeview at Hardyville. St. John's at Bamberg Earhart. And Latta at home against Baptist Hill. Bamberg, very good. Carvers Bay, very good. That's going to be, if it comes to pass in round 3, a really good matchup. And then Cross is awfully tough. I don't think anyone in that half of the bracket can really take down Cross, but Scotts Branch is pretty good, and so is Johnsonville. So we'll see who comes out of that pod. So there's the brackets, and now I suppose we're ready to preview the games. I do have Marcus's picks. If he's not able to join us tonight, he's on his way back from Savannah and hopes to join us in a little bit, but has not been able to yet. But let me see here. I got his picks. Let me get them pulled up, and we'll be ready to go. All right. Shall we start with 1A?
Yeah.
I suppose we shall. We'll start with the 1A bracket. We got 2 home games. We got Hardyville hosting Lakeview and Ridgeland hosting Bethune-Bowman. We'll start with the Jags. They are in a weird situation because they had that really good run where they ran 4 or 5 wins off in a row. And then they had to play Bamberg, and that stopped them in their tracks. And then they had 2 weeks off, and now they come back out of the break to play Bethune-Bowman. That can go one of 2 ways. I mean, you can, it's the old rust versus rest scenario, and licking your wounds after that Bamberg game. I don't know what the mood was in the camp. You hope that they weren't too beaten up by losing to the number 1 team in the state, and that they'll be able to bounce back here. But it's a question. Bowman, much better than they were a year ago. They got a little passing game. They got some receivers with some real height. I think their passing game could give Ridgeland a little bit of trouble because Ridgeland is really tough against the run, but a little more susceptible to the pass. But I think Ridgeland's defense has been good enough this year. I think they really showed a lot of growth over the course of the season. And I think they've got enough on the ground to be able to wear down that Bethune-Bowman front. So I'm going to take the Jags at home, but I think this is going to be a very competitive game.
Yeah. I mean, this is a Ridgeland team that I think has really defied odds for what they have accomplished this year. And I'm quite impressed of what they've been able to do. This is a team that, just a few years removed coming off the split with Hardyville, where, it takes a while to rebuild. And I'll just say what they have done in this 2025 season has been quite impressive. And this is something they're going to be able to build on whoever this year finishes. This Ridgeland side coming into I think it's a winnable game for them against Bethune-Bowman, and this is the luxury.
Walsh has joined us in the darkness.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
What's up, fellas?
Hi, fellas.
How's it going?
What's up, buddy?
Just
making our picks on the first game.
Just leaving,
Wes was making his pick for
just leaving
Ridgeland.
Margaritaville.
All right, Wes, you're on.
Yes, I was in the middle of winding towards making my pick. But what we have seen from this Ridgeland team, get an opportunity to play at home. Winston Smith has been your guy. Can you find?
He graduated. Bam Crawford's the guy now. Yeah.
I'm looking. I looked at last year's stats. My apologies. Okay, they haven't updated. Ridgeland's not updated their stats.
Yeah, no, it's on a different page now because the school name changed. It's weird.
Okay.
But
yeah.
Bam Crawford's your guy.
Bam Crawford. He has really set the tone, and when he's been able to get going on the ground, it's been difficult to slow him down in key situations this year. And this team's defense, you talk about what they have done on the defensive side of the ball, really starting the year and moving forward. They have just been tenacious. They've been able to really make you earn it when going against some strong squads. And the coaching staff has done a phenomenal job for what we've seen from the Jags this year. And I'm pumped up for their opportunity to host at home and for a chance to put together what would be a really special performance this evening. And I kind of think that the way this ground game has been going, the way the defense has been able to shut teams down at opportune times, I am all in on this Ridgeland team heading in this first round game. And I think they're going to find a way to get the stops they need in a very tight game that I think that still could go in either direction. But I really have a good sense of optimism of what Ridgeland's going to do here at home. And I think they win it by around touchdown, maybe 2 scores if they're able to get them some things going early and get some separation. But Crawford, you mentioned he has been an absolute beast this year. 5.5 yards per carry, but he's come through in some really important spots. And then watch for Donardo Henry to make an impact. He can play on the defensive side on the line. They put that linebacker as well, but he's really got a good IQ of where to be and has some just tremendous closing ability to make big tackles. I think Ridgeland's defense is going to find a way to step up, maybe force turnovers and make some big stops en route to what would be one of the better wins in this program in the last few years. I think the Jags are going to get a playoff win tomorrow night.
Without question, I agree with so much of what you said there, Wes. The defense is one of the best defenses that I saw all year, and I saw them in our first broadcast against Whale Branch back in September. I tell you what, with Crawford, I mean, in another life, he could have started in the Flintstones because he goes bam, bam through those holes. He makes it happen. And if Tyshawn Smith has some time to make some plays, whether on the ground or through the air, he's got a chance to do some things. I love the thought, Wes, from you about Henry. Big player on defense, certainly. I like Ridgeland big in this spot. Not necessarily that they'll win big, but my confidence in them is big. I like them by 7 or 10 points to get this job done, and that team just continues to impress me week in and week out. It was a tough start to the year, but they got rolling, and they are going to take it through tomorrow night in the first round of the playoffs.
Max?
Yeah. I think for me, obviously, I've already seen Bethune-Bowman this year. Obviously, myself and Justin were at that game against Hardyville, that absolute shootout to start out the season, which was so much fun to watch. I think I agree with Justin. I think Bethune is a much improved team compared to last season. I think, their passing game can cause Ridgeland some issues. And I hate to say this, but I have to disagree with Marcus. I think they're a good defense, but I don't think they're the best defense I've seen this year. I think they still got some holes in the defense that need to be figured out, especially in the secondary when it comes to, pass defense. But I think, 2 weeks is what worries me the most about Ridgeland. I think being off for 2 weeks is a really, a scary thing. It can either be a good thing or it could be a really bad thing to have 2 weeks off at this point in the season, There's
another added factor to that too, which is basketball practice starting at a basketball school can be detrimental.
That's
to
a great
football.
point.
If half your
That's a
team
great
can't
point.
wait for the season to end,
and I think
that's not a good thing.
I really liked how Ridgeland, finished that second half of the season, apart from the Bamberg loss. Of course, we saw that one coming anyway. But I like how they've, improved, because you looked at the start of the season, you're just saying, "Oh God, what is going on here?"
It looked bad. It looked like they might not win a game, and then they rattled off 4 in a row. So they really
absolutely
turned things around.
Yeah, they turned things around, but I'm a little worried. I don't know where to go with this one. I think it's a close game. I agree with all of you. I think this is a 1-score game, but despite my worries, I'm going to go with Ridgeland on this one, but I'm really worried about this game. If I'm worried about any of the public school games right now, I think it's this one the most, just because Ridgeland's had 2 weeks off, and you just don't know how they're going to come out after a loss.
Surely you just mean the home games, right?
Right.
Because Battery Creek has to play at Loris, and
I just think For me, you came off a absolutely devastating loss to Bamberg, which, you saw that one coming, but how beaten up did you get? And, if you get 2 weeks off after a loss of that, how are you going to come out, after a 2-week hiatus? I'm worried, but I'm going to take Ridgeland here. I think it's less than 7. I think it's a 3-point game.
All right. We're all in the Jags. On the other side of the 1A bracket, you got Lakeview coming to the Ville on the other side of Jasper County. This is a rematch of last year. Lakeview won big, 36-7, but obviously new year. They're a little down this year. Hardyville's definitely up from where they were a year ago. So I expect this to be a fairly even matchup. Canes will be rocking the new black Nike jerseys, Max.
Nice.
With orange numbers, green piping. So they'll be looking fresh. I feel pretty good about this. The guys seem pretty confident that this is going to be a lot different from last year. So I expect it to be a competitive game. I think Hardyville's got to start fast. I think if they get down early, it'll be a little bit of that mindset of, oh, here we go again. It's just like last year, and I think it'll be easy for some guys to kind of fold the tents a little bit. So I think we got to get off to a good start. We can't play from behind in the second half thing. But I really like the way Hardyville played last week. I mean, Millie Santiago was on fire. They had the pass game going and the run game. Kamari sat out, and it didn't matter. They put up 45. So I expect this to be a good showing from Hardyville. I got to back my boys. Go Canes. Go Canes.
Yeah,
of course you do. No doubt about it. And I'm right there with you. I'm going to take the Canes to this one too. They're looking really well.
I think these last couple of games have really shown an extra
Oh,
dimension.
no points allowed in 10 quarters for the Kings.
Yeah, they shut out Branchville, they shut out
Hey
Allendale,
now.
Fairfax.
And the second
And
half
yeah,
of
you
Denmark.
mentioned their last points allowed. You have to go all the way back to October 10th against
Yep.
Denmark. Ola.
First
That's almost a
half.
month since they have allowed a point, which is quite a
Wow.
remarkable stat right there for
Yeah.
a team that has really turned around after that long losing streak against some quality teams in the midway.
And had some near misses in there as well.
Yeah. But I love the way that this Hardyville team has evolved and grown this year. And as you said, the defense has been playing lights out. But this Lakeview team is going to be they're going to be a strong test because they put 52 on Green Sea Floyd's. Obviously, Green Sea Floyd's a little down compared to what they have been in the past, but Hardyville's going to have to be on their game, but I just really have faith in the defensive ability of this team right now and the way they've been playing. If they're able to open some lanes for that run game, I really like the chances of Hardyville. They've been known to work some magic here at home, and I think they win it in dramatic fashion in a one-possession game. I'm going to go with the Hardyville Hurricanes to come away with a dramatic victory. On the foot of their terrific kicker. I'll say Hardy wins on a game-winning field goal by Sunoco.
Ephraim Tinoco will be running the lower state cross country meet tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning.
And then
he'll
be kicking, and then he'll be kicking Friday night.
Wow.
All right, Sunoco game-winning field goal to walk it off.
It's a good thing that got a lot of other great players on that team in Santiago, the Jameson brothers, and whatnot. I really like, as I was saying, what's happening with this Hardyville team, especially with Brown at running back. I mean, he's healthy and rearing and ready to go. I'm still bummed that I couldn't see him against Hilton Head, because I think the game would have definitely had a little bit of a different flavor to it if he would have played against the Seahawks. I like Hardyville. That team has really impressed me all year long, and what those guys have going on over there with Misa, heading the athletics, and certainly Coach Gardner. It's a great vibes in the Ville. Give me the Ville big.
I took the team pick tonight. Because we got the new fresh unis. Who you got, Max?
I look at these last 3 games or so from Hardyville. I mean, this is the hottest football they've played all season, and they're finally fully healthy. I mean, they struggled with injuries in the first half of the season, and it just didn't help. Also had a kind of a tough out of region schedule, especially against Hilton Head. But they fought hard against Hilton Head when we had them on WHHI. And I look at this Hardyville team and I say, when they're fully healthy, they are tough to beat. And I look at Lakeview and I say, the one thing if I'm Hardyville, you can't be too confident against this Lakeview team. Despite them having a down year compared to last season, they still have a absolutely fantastic coaching staff over at Lakeview. And it shows with that program and over the last few years or so. I think, the one thing I would say is Hardyville kind of looking for a little bit of revenge in this game, just because these two teams played in the first round last year, and, Lakeview took down Hardyville. I think Hardyville wants to return the favor this year, and I think they will. Give me Hardyville by 7.
All right. Hardyville in the new blacks. There you go.
Those are nice.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if I'm going out to Hilton Head Christian on Friday night. If they get to a big enough lead, I might have to come out to Hardyville and see those black jerseys in person. Man, I can't. Oh, they look so good. They look so good.
To the Ville, baby. All right, so we're homering in Class 1A. Moving on to Class 2A, I think we might break our homer streak here. Whale Branch 3-7, going to Philip Simmons 8-2, and Philip Simmons won 46-14. During the regular season. Whale Branch was looking good there for a while. The weird game against Battery Creek, the half game, I didn't even hardly count that as a loss, really. And then they got that big win against Edisto, and I thought, winning that road game close, that they were maybe going to make a little run through the region, but lost that heartbreaker on homecoming to Lake Marion. and that started a 3-game skid. And I don't know what they have left in the tank, but I know that Philip Simmons is awfully tough. They lost their first 2 to Hanahan and Beckham, and then they've been tremendous since then. They've only given up 48 points during an 8-game winning streak. They have 4 shutouts, and they got an offense too. Hayes Goddard, the quarterback, is very good. Dual threat guy, accounted for 28 touchdowns, 24 passing, and just 1 interception. So Philip Simmons is the definition of a unit. Whale Branch will need Bowers to have a huge game, and he'll need to shut down Ashton Kellerman, who is tremendous, to give him a chance. But I just can't see it on the road. I think Philip Simmons rolls in this one.
I agree. I hate to say it, but it's been a tough stretch these last several weeks for Whale Branch. They got off to a really solid start. They're going up against a juggernaut, and I just don't know, with certainly Bowers and what they can do with the running game, if they have enough. And defensively, they've been giving up some points too. I'm going to take Phil Simmons pretty big. I'll take him by about 3 touchdowns.
Phil Sims.
Phil Sims, yeah.
Yeah, Phil Sims.
The Iron Horses. All right, who you got, Wesley?
Yeah, it's been a tough stretch for Whale Branch. There were some quality signs earlier in the year, but the last couple of games, they've shown that there's still work to be done for that program as expected. First-year head coach having to take over from a great coach in Jerry Hatcher. But, they've competed well this season. They've done better than expected. A couple of tough results recently, but Philip Simmons appears to be one of the favorites in 2A, and I don't think Whale Branch is ready yet to knock him out this year. So I'm going the Iron Horses.
Tim Foe. Max.
Yeah, I think with this game, I just think, it wasn't really competitive the last time these two teams faced. I really don't see it again this time. Hats off to Whale Branch for what they've done this season. Just so much more than I think we all expected them to do. And it's a really good sign, especially with this coaching staff, that they're building a program for the future. And I think they're going to get a learning lesson, in this game on Friday. I don't see them winning. Give me Phil to win it.
Phil Sims. All right, we're all on the Iron Horses. I have a suspicion we'll be in lockstep on this one too. Lake City 3-7, traveling to Hampton County 7-3. We told you about a lot about the Hurricanes when Jalen Singletary was with us earlier on. Incredibly, guys, you have to go back to 1952 to find the only meeting between these programs. Lake City knocked Wade Hampton out in the state semifinals in 52.
Wow.
They will meet again tomorrow night at Hampton over in Barnville. It was 13-0. 13-0 back in 1952.
Wow.
So,
take the over.
But yeah, it's going to be much higher this time, and
take
probably
the
all
over.
Of them. Maybe all of them
Good
on
grief.
Hampton's side of the scoreboard. I think shutout is in play.
Wow.
You heard Jalen Singletary. They want to send a message to the rest of the bracket tomorrow night.
No
so
doubt.
I think Hampton's going to win very big, and one time will be a happy man Monday at school.
One time's going to be doing backflips on the bleachers. I think it's going to be a huge game for, he'll get together with my buddy Joe Keith, maybe, after a big win. I tell you what, it's going to be a huge game for Hampton. Take the over. They're going to be running. They're going to be throwing. They're going to be hitting. And they are going to be grinning from morning, noon, night, midnight. Doesn't matter. Hampton by 45.
Yeah.
Take the over.
Right. 54-0 is very much in play. Wes, Max?
Yeah, I mean, we talked to Jalen Singletary, and just after hearing from him, this team's on a mission this year. I think that Singletary, he's on the forefront of what this team's going to do, and I think the heartbreak is, and the bad taste is still there from that Manning loss. I think they are going to do the best they can to have another chance to take them on again this year. I have a feeling that it's going to be Another dominant performance from Hampton County. I think it's going to be a big game for Singletary, and the defense will back them up, and should be a fun one for the one time and the Hurricanes fans, the Hurricanes faithful at Hampton County coming up tomorrow night. So I got Hampton County big in round one.
All right, Max, you going contrarian on this one?
Oh God, no. I think, we've seen what Lake City can do, especially against, May River this season when those two teams faced off. We kind of got an idea of where they sit as a program, especially after the fact of that May River game. They really have struggled to pick up wins here and there. But I think in that case, I think Hampton County is just too powerful of a team for Lake City to handle. I think they get the job done on Friday night. I think they're going to get the job done and focus on next Friday. I just, I something about this Hampton County team this year. I just have a really good feeling about their path through the playoffs. I just really like how this Hampton County team looks and how they've been looking for the last, month and a half. So give me the Hurricanes to take on Lake City.
All right. It looks like Marcus may
It's
be
just
under
in.
arrest,
I'm not in
you
the dark
guys.
anymore.
Are you under arrest?
I'm not. No, there's an ambulance and a couple of fire trucks here at
Oh no,
Plantation
he's
Point.
under
Not
arrest.
sure exactly
Look at
what's
him.
Oh,
going on.
no.
Look, he's
It wasn't
panicking.
too
I
much
was like-
driving.
He's
Well, either
panicking,
Marky
man.
Mark or the Funky Bunch is going to jail. All right. So we all got Hampton.
Live on the
We're all
Loco
still in
Sports
agreement.
Lowdown.
I don't think anybody's going to.
Breaking news.
Yeah.
You gotta
Live
balance
on the
that
Lowdown.
today.
You never know what you'll see on the Lowdown. In 3A, I don't
No,
think we're going to break.
in all seriousness, we've got a medical situation here, and
Yeah.
hope everybody's going to be okay
JJ has to
Yeah,
balance out.
as we're just
absolutely.
pulling in. Don't want
in
to.
the-
I mean, jokes are fine, but yeah, there is a
Yeah, yeah.
medical situation here.
All right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No, I feel you.
Yeah.
In Class 3A, I don't think we're going to change our lockstep situation here. Battery Creek going on the road. They've been struggling. Loris is 10-0. Last meeting was back in 2012. Loris won 56-0. That was in the second round of the playoffs. And
Wow.
that was the last time that Battery Creek made it out of the first round.
First round, yeah.
I don't think that's going to change tomorrow.
Nope.
Just to let you know about the quarterback for Loris, Zamir Gerald.
I
He's
saw
passed
some
for over
clips.
2,000 yards with 37 touchdowns and 1 interception,
Crap.
which is
Ooh,
insane.
God.
They have
In the
6
words of
different
Frank
guys.
Barone.
What's that?
Holy crap.
Yeah,
Yeah.
6 different guys with at least 3 touchdown catches and 4 players with at least 6 touchdown catches.
And
That's
in
like
the words of
Bluffton
me,
level receiving.
damn.
Yeah,
That's all.
I'll take Loris. I'll take
Yeah.
Loris.
Yeah, all day, all night, all week.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
No.
65 points they could put up probably. Loris, huge.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about this one. Loris.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah, without question.
It's been said. We're all on Loris, yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what? Battery Creek showed some signs this year again. I mean, they're knocking on the door. They're not.
Really
They're
are.
not. They
But the question, I think the question we have to ask
beat
is
Well Branch too.
how far are they? How long until they open the door? I mean, they're
I
knocking
mean, I
on
don't
it.
know.
I know they're knocking
It's real hard
on
to
it.
open the door over there. The door's very heavy over there.
Yeah.
Like it's hard. It's an uphill
But what
climb.
makes it? I mean, I think what makes it tougher for them is I think with this transfer portal now, it's becoming difficult for them to bring players in rather than players leaving.
They're always going to lose the best, and they were losing them before the transfer portal.
I know.
I mean, that's a very real thing for them.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a tough job. It's a tough job.
It is a tough
over there.
job. Hats off to Susie though.
Yeah, for sure. Great guy. Working hard.
He's fantastic.
He's trying. He's trying.
really
I guarantee you. It ain't for lack of trying.
Right.
All right, 4A boys. We got another one that we probably don't have to say a whole lot about with Beaufort going to South Point. They met in 2021 in the state championship game. South Point won 41-7. That was one of the best Beaufort teams we've ever seen. This is not. I mean, they've played really tough defense, and Isom and Braden Moy Smalls have done some great things on offense at times, but it just hasn't been consistent enough on offense to feel like they can really put up more than 14 points against South Point would be a coup, it feels like.
Yeah.
And South Point's got power forward talent up and down. The defense alone has combined for 143 tackles for loss and
Oh my
47
God.
sacks. And they have the top-ranked senior in South Carolina at quarterback, Jazavian Currents. And Currents is a dog. So
And a commit
yeah,
to South Carolina.
South Point.
Wow.
I'm gonna take this one.
Yeah, South Point's going to take this one, and they're going to take it big.
Great. So
I feel really bad for Beaufort just with what's gone on the last couple of years. They're in some tough times right now,
they are.
but I know as long as they have Bryce Lybrand leading the way, that team is capable of
100%.
playing hard, getting
Yep.
after it, and putting their best foot forward,
Absolutely.
win, lose, or draw. And I think they'll do that, but they're going to have a long night. South Point
And a long
big.
trip.
Long
Yes.
trip,
to Rocky.
yeah.
Really long trip.
That's
South Point. South Point.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a hike.
I think
Everybody's picking
South
the
Point's
upset.
got. I think South Point's got too much. By the way, Jazavian Currents is ranked number
Yeah.
9 in the country among quarterbacks. So I mean, if that's not enough for you, you got the number 11th defensive lineman in the country, who's looking like he may be going to Clemson. So I mean, like this is
They're
a loaded.
stacked.
This is one of the more
Stacked.
loaded. I mean, South Point's always had some great.
Speaking
teams.
of transfer portal, they already had a bunch, and then they brought in
They
some more.
added on to it. I mean, this is
Yeah.
one of the more, in terms of depth, one of
Rich
the
get
most
richer.
in-depth South Point teams we've ever
Yeah.
seen. So
Yeah.
I
People were
sorry.
saying it was the best one ever, but then they lost a game, so that kind of cooled off a little bit. But
Yeah, but
they're
still, I
very
mean,
good. They're very
they're
good.
really good.
All right. Now the more interesting ones. Well, we'll go Hilton Head next. I don't think that one's as interesting as far as the actual matchup on the field. South Aiken at 5-5, not a bad team by any means, but not a dominant one. Hilton Head has been a dominant team since that James Island loss. Really, they've been on a tear and just beating people up. They're just so good and balanced in every way. Their offense is balanced. You can't sell out on anything or they'll burn you. Walters is such a weapon stretching the field that keeps that middle of the defense soft for Zarnecki and Risher. And Raniszewski is probably the most underrated quarterback in the area because, he doesn't put up the numbers that an Aiden McCarthy does. But my goodness, he is such a good game manager and leader. And then that defense is just locked in right now. So, despite the eeriness of the losses in 91 and 2008, 2 of the best years in Hilton Head memory, ending with losses at home to South Aiken, I think that the Demons are going away tomorrow night. I got the Seahawks big in this one.
I do too. I've been so impressed with what they've done the last 2 years, especially, and I mean they will be bringing home the bacon because I've got them going a long way in this tournament.
I was wondering what was on that tie.
I am so impressed with top to bottom what these guys have done. This is going to be a big win for them, and I think BJ and company going to be celebrating for quite some time. Hilton Head.
For a few days, and they're right back to work.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Wes, you riding high on the Seahawks?
I think, Marcus, they have much bigger plans than just this first round after what we've seen.
No question. No question.
I will say that this would be Demons' exercise if they're able to get it done tomorrow. Even though I don't think I had these players 2008. I said a couple of days ago,
right?
These players weren't born yet.
They're barely born.
I mean, maybe they know, but I don't think they.
No, they don't. And Payne wasn't even here.
Right.
It's. I mean, you can't.
He was still in Ohio.
It's really irrelevant, except to us.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I mean the media. I mean, we see this in college sports and professional sports. Like, okay, well, this team hasn't beaten this team in so long in the playoffs, and the last time these two teams met, I mean, I mean, you can't really compare. They're completely different teams, completely
Nah.
different coaching staffs.
Yeah.
I mean, don't correct me if I'm wrong.
I
If
mean,
one
Lake
of the,
City beat
the
Hampton in 52.
I'm just saying, correct me if I'm wrong. One of those South Aiken coaches are still there from 2008, which is obviously certain. It's, you never know. That could be
Highly
possible.
unlikely.
Unlikely, but I mean, it's possible. But
It is. I'll look it up.
you know, but either way, I think Hilton Head is a more talented team just on paper, and I just think they're going to have the hunger. I mean, they're going to back it up at home. I think that what we're seeing from Zarnecki, a guy who can take a game over, you're going to want to see him at the forefront, and he is going to deliver once again. Just look at this defense and how complete they are. I mean, the secondary has been very good. You look at the defensive line, which has been so ultra consistent year or game in and game out this year, and it's going to take an outstanding level of execution by South Aiken on the road if they're gonna steal this one. I just think Hilton is very polished, very well coached, and they're going to come in with the mentality they need to. They can't overlook a game like this. This is a huge game, one of the biggest games in their program's history, if not the biggest in the last 15, 20 years, because they're coming as the 2 seed in the playoffs. They're heavily favored, or at least decently heavily favored. And what this team has accomplished this year, and the way that defense has been able to back them up, and the way that Renishevsky has played, I just don't see this team laying an egg tomorrow night from what they have, the consistency they've played with this year, with Risher and with all the options that made this team so dangerous to defend. I think that this Hilton team is going to be ready to go. They're going to be ready to pounce early and build a sizable lead, and then use that tremendous defense and clock management to hang on. I think Hilton Head will not have to sweat this one out in the fourth quarter. At least that's my opinion. I say a couple scores the difference. Now, South Aiken, it's never an easy game going up against the Thoroughbreds. Obviously, the history, but like I said, I don't give too much really credit to that.
Yeah.
But
they're 2 coaches removed, by the way.
Yeah.
From
Hilton Head's very polished. South Aiken 5-5. They have been competitive. They both played Aiken. Hilton Head beat them very early in the season. South Aiken beat them 23-7. Hilton Head, it was 36-17. So they were in control, but it wasn't like a complete runaway.
Right.
I guess, but just looking at communal opponents,
Right.
if you will. But they lost to Brooklyn Casey. They got crushed by Gray. They lost to Midland Valley. So yeah, I mean, this is not a team you can look over. They've got some talent, but I think Hilton Head is going to have a little bit more on Friday night, and a big time game at home. I expect them to come through and find a way to take over. Now they do have a pair of sophomore studs. Tommy Burns has been pretty solid under center, and I mean, the passing game's been solid, but they have a 1-2 punch in O'Berry in the backfield, as well as Drake, who's a senior. So they've got some dudes who can hurt you, but I think this Hilton team will they're polished. They're gonna be ready to go. They're gonna be on top of it early, in my opinion, in what will be one of the bigger games in this program's history. So I just love the way BJ Payne gets his team ready for games like this, and I expect Zarnecki to come out and play a whale of a game on both sides of the ball to really anchor what I think is going to be another good defensive effort for the Seahawks. So I'm going to go Hilton Head by maybe two or three scores, maybe at that 3-score
Sounds
range.
about right.
Yeah, I'd love
I
to
think
see
they're going to smoke them.
Seahawks, but yeah.
Max?
Yeah, I think we all can agree the sins of the past have been put to rest long ago. I think it's a new day at Hilton Head. I think this is in my opinion, over the years, apart from the 91 and the 2008 team. Yeah, I just saw that, by the way. Buford native
Ferris with the sack.
I look at this Hilton Head team, and I think this is, in my lifetime, I think this is the most talented Hilton Head team I've ever seen in my lifetime. Over the last almost 25 years, I would
have to agree.
the most talented Hilton Head team I've seen. I think this team is on all cylinders. I mean, they've been firing on all cylinders for at least the last 2 months. I think
Yeah.
and it's just I don't see them stopping. I mean, you look at the South Aiken team. I mean, they've had they got a tough schedule. I mean, having played Grace Collegiate, of course, and
Yeah.
played
And
Silver
North
Bluff. That's
Augusta
always a
and
tough
Midland
opponent,
Valley. Yeah.
But I think, apart from that, I just think, when Hilton Head's at home for a playoff game, it's a great atmosphere regardless. And I just think it's going to be another great atmosphere on Friday night. And I just think Hilton Head's got too much. And I think this is the best chance for Hilton Head to make a real deep run in the playoffs again this year. I mean, I feel like I keep forgetting
They'll
that.
be good again next year too.
I know, and I keep forgetting that they made it to the semifinals last year.
They made it to the third round.
Third round, that's right.
No, was it the second round?
Second round, they went to South Florence.
No. It would have been the third
round. No, it was
round.
the third round.
Because they lost to South Florence in the third round.
That's right.
I think they can make it all the way. I know they got a tough road ahead after the first round, but I do think this Hilton Head team has a really good path and a really good shot at making the lower state finals. I think they're good enough to beat anyone in the lower state.
I mean, Gray's the team to beat to get there, most likely.
Gray's
and the good thing is if they see him, they'll get it home.
But I think I think Hilton Head can match up with Grays. I really do. I think they got a good path. And I think it starts on Friday night with a good win against South Aiken.
Yep. You got to keep that momentum building. All right. So we're all in agreement on every game so far. But we might throw it off here. We'll see. We got number 10 Wilson 6-4 and number 7 May River 7-3. First ever meeting between the teams, which is always fun. Just wild that they haven't ever crossed up in the playoffs or anything, because we match up with that region all the time. But this is a really interesting game to me. I think
I agree.
May River, we've talked about it ad nauseum. The one-dimensional offense is worrisome. I mean, there's just not really a threat of the pass there unless they completely sell out. And that worries me because, again, if you get behind, it's hard for them to score quickly against a quality defense that doesn't blow assignments and miss tackles. Wilson is, one of those teams that's been a little inconsistent, but their losses have come against really quality programs. Gilbert by 1, Hartsville by 6, Lower Richland by 15, and then South Florence 35-7. But they haven't totally inspired. Like 28-26 over Darlington wasn't super inspiring.
Yeah, it's not really inspiring.
But they beat Dillon, so they're just kind of inconsistent. They're capable of being really good, and they're capable of kind of laying an egg. It's a long bus trip coming down to May River. May River is a frustrating team to play. I am really torn on this one. I'm scared of Wilson. Wilson has been really tough in the past, so I'm a little scared of him. But go ahead. I'm gonna sit on the fence for a little bit.
If I can, I might be able to help you, because I was feeling the same way looking at this matchup. And if there was an upset pick that I was gonna take, it was gonna be Wilson over May River. I think this game is tight. I think that Wilson certainly compares with some of the numbers that I went through via Max Preps. I think they compare with May River relatively well. It all depends on what May River team shows up at home.
True.
And if it's the team that I saw last week against Bluffton, and I think it will be this team, I think May River will be inspired. May River wins at home, and that's what I'm going to call for. But they have to get out to a really hot start. Like you said, JJ, they're not going to be throwing the football much. They're going to have to come on defense with their heads on fire. And, offensively, Tran's going to be leading the way, trying to make some plays himself, certainly handing the ball off. Mitchell, Justin Head as well, looking to make some big plays. Obviously, this is a Hudson Tanner special where you look for him to make some plays on defense, and then what he can do on special teams, both punting to change field position and kicking field goals. I think this is really tight. I think it's going to be under a touchdown. I will call for a 6-point May River win via 2 Hudson Tanner field goals and really, really strong effort. May River wins by 6.
All right.
Kind of has a feel of what could be a low scoring game, but I will say that Wilson, their defense is susceptible at times. They gave up, or they allowed 26 to Darlington. You expect them to give 35 to South Florence, but they had some trouble stopping teams recently. And I look at this May River team, and it's predicated on taking care of the football, blocking and assignment based football, and finding open lanes for their guys. And I think that Mitchell has been that workhorse. After what we saw happen to Johnson, I like where this May River team is trending after a good battle against Bluffton, where they kept it close, and like Marcus said, which May River team is going to be the one that shows up, and are they ready to start on time? Because I like this opportunity for this offense to do some work on this Wilson team. I think that they have established some things with that ground game, and maybe they'll try for that 1 or 2 big pass plays with Tran and company. But I think it's going to be their bread and butter. They're going to run the football, and they're going to hope that they can do a good job on the line, or at least good enough to pick up those chunks of yards. And when they run their offense and they have a lead, they are tough. They are very tough, especially at home. And I think it's going to be up to the defense. If the defense can make a couple of stops, that is where I really think May River can win this game. And they're going to have to shut down a pretty good passing attack. And they did a good job in stopping Warren for the most part. And they did give up a big player too to
their secondary is kind of overperformed, I think.
And if they can shut down McWhite, who has been the big guy for Wilson, I kind of like that. I like how they match up in this game. I like how they can grind it out, wear you down on offense, and it just takes a couple of stops. Or if May River are able to get the job, they're able to do enough. And I'm feeling good about this matchup for May River. I initially was thinking Wilson, but just looking at it again and just kind of seeing what May River did to stay in that game against Bluffton, to make it tough. And I like how this team is trending. I don't know how far they'll be able to take it, but I'm pretty bullish on what May River is going to do starting off, at least pretty favorable. They're going to start off on a good footing here at home, which should be a good atmosphere over there at the Tank. And I expect Hudson Tanner and that defense to come through and make a couple of stops and use that churning offense to wear that Wilson team down enough so they're able to take control of the game and eat up some clock as it gets late. But
you guys have swayed me.
Yeah, I like May River in a kind of a grinded out style of game. Yeah, maybe in the 20s or so.
I'm thinking like 30-20, 26-20, 30-24, something like that.
You guys have swayed me, but here's what swayed me more. I looked at the box score from that Darlington game where they won 28-26, and I saw that Darlington quarterback Jalen Augustus rushed for 310 yards on 36 carries against Wilson.
Yeah, well,
that tells me that maybe they're not so great at assignment-based football and defense. And when the quarterback runs for that many yards, that's usually blown assignments. Or they're exploiting something. So that bodes well for the Sharks. I'm going May River. I'm in now.
Yeah, now that you've mentioned that, I can't go against May River now, because I just think, obviously, like, May River is a running team that can control the game clock pretty well.
Very well,
clearly.
If it helps, South Florence rush for 341 yards on 44.
Yep, that helped me. All right. Well, I can't go against May River now. I was thinking about taking Wilson in this game, but the two things that, what Justin just said about them in terms of their defense not being able to stop the run, but I think the other thing too is Wilson's more of a passing team than they are a running team on offense.
Right.
If you look at their film, and for me, I think the one thing I love about May River's defense as of late, which was originally one of my worries, was their secondary. I think their secondary has played pretty good in terms of going against the passing game over the last few weeks or so. And I think for those reasons, I can't go against Wilson in this one. I think if Wilson's giving up 300 rushing yards a game or more, I don't think it's a close game. I think May River runs away with this one now.
They weren't early on, but they have lately.
And I think for that reason, being how May River runs their offense, I think May River could win by 2 scores.
I tend to agree.
Maybe more.
So we all talked ourselves into being homers.
I have to ask, with the fact that all of us are talking about Wilson, are all of us Castaway fans?
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, I saw
Wilson.
Wilson.
Well, of course that would set up. Of course that would set up. Hey, Hilton had maybe rematch.
Yes, it would. And that was the other thing I was going to bring up that kind of swayed me is I got thinking about how bad they want another shot at Hilton Head after they saw that bracket come out.
Yes.
They're going to be motivated, just like last year when they were motivated because they got to play Bluffton. They're going to be highly motivated to try to earn another shot at Hilton Head. So, yeah, I like the Sharks here, but I think it is the toughest of our home matchups probably. And then finally, I guess we're calling it the game of the week since it's on Buford's Own and Marcus is on the call with Javon. That makes it feel like a game of the week. And I think it could be a good one. Bluffton at home. They're coming in at 8-2, got the win over May River last week. Gilbert at 5-5, but coming out of a tough region and a quality team. They knocked off Midland Valley this year. Last time they played, Bobcats had to go to Gilbert in the second round of the 2017 playoffs. So that not quite as long ago as 2008, but it does predate Hayden Gregory. Gilbert won that one 48-21. That was when Gilbert was really in their heyday. They're still a solid program, but not quite where they were then. This senior class was in 4th grade then, but they'll still probably use it for motivation. So I think Gilbert's going to present a challenge. I think they're the kind of team. They're a lot like May River. They're a very physical team. They not quite. Their offense isn't the same, but they're a run-based offense. Pretty tough on defense, always super physical. So I think they're going to give Bluffton a fight, but I'll take the Bobcats. They'll pull away after halftime, pick them apart.
I was trying to find a comp, and I was leaning towards May River, but then with the ability, and Javon actually sent me a game that they had against. It was Gilbert and Brooklyn Casey.
Okay.
So I watched the Brooklyn Casey Gilbert matchup the last couple of days. Gilbert has scored, 30 plus points in a few games this year. They beat Brooklyn Casey 30-19. That was one of them. They kind of remind me of Hardyville because they actually have a few more guys on the outside that can make some plays, and they're willing to go that way. And I tell you what, certainly Bluffton's really going to have to look out for Kit McLaughlin, the quarterback. Metz, the running back, is tremendous. They've got a couple of really good running backs. Bennett Plain actually plays on the other side of that matchup for Brooklyn Casey. He had quite a game. Peyton Comer as well. I mean, these guys have some athletes and they can make some plays. Yep. Bluffton's going to have to really watch for the run, contain the pass, and obviously we know that Bluffton can use the run when they need to, but their pass game is their top place. So that's going to be kind of a chess match for both teams on defense. You might give a little bit of an edge to Gilbert in their special teams. They had a kicker that could make some things happen. We know that's not Bluffton's strong suit. I think this is
bad though.
Have a
He's
chance.
Better.
Yeah.
I'm talking more in terms of field goals than punting and that type of situation too. I think this game has a chance to be quite good. So just kind of look out for those things. Obviously, because I'm not going to make a pick because I'm calling it. But look out for those things. I find this game to be pretty intriguing, and Bluffton has a lot to prove getting to that next level. Of course, we talk about it a bunch. They're a great team. This Gilbert team, though, not one to sleep on. They've got some athletes.
No, not at
They
all.
can play
have,
well.
Quality program.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they have some decent players and some excellent players at that as well. Bluffton's going to have to be on their game. And, once again, we talked about this defense, but can they find a way to step up? Doyle has been such an anchor. They've got
And Malcolm Gordon as well.
Malcolm Gordon on top of that as well.
RJ Curse got a touchdown pass in that game against Brooklyn Casey also.
Bluffton's going to have to start on time in their offense. There's some games where they've kind of started slow, where McCarthy and Founds really need to be ready to go from the start, because Gilbert's a quality team. You cannot sleep on this Indian side. They have some studs on that team, but at the same time, I like Bluffton's offense. I like Bluffton's offense to find a way to overpower them and get a couple of big time scores. I just if Cordell Holly can stay true to what he does, and McCarthy can take care of the football, this offense can be fine. I think this team can be fine, and they're gonna find some ways to escape and distance themselves as the game grows deeper into the second half.
That's what I see.
As much as I think Gilbert is going to present a challenge, which they will, I think Bluffton's ready for it. I think Gregory's going to put together a good game plan. I think the defense is going to do a decent enough job that they're going to give their offense the ball and opportunities to distance the lead. So I'll go Bluffton by maybe about a couple of scores. I think that they're going to find their way as this game goes along. But you got to be ready. You got to be ready from the outset because this Gilbert team is going to come ready to fight.
Yeah. Bluffton doesn't seem intimidated by playing from behind at all, though. They have such confidence in their offense.
If they felt behind this game, I wouldn't be worried.
They just keep cooking. Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Max, you making it unanimous of the three of us who are picking?
This game scares me a little bit, and the reason it scares me is this Gilbert team, despite their 5-5 record, are much better than I think that 5-5 record shows.
I agree.
I mean, you look at their wins.
Scaling too at the running back position.
Well, you look at their wins, and one of them that points out
to me.
Yeah. Yep. Thank you, Wes. That's what that one points out to me a little bit. That win against Midland Valley. I know it was a close game, but that's a strong Midland Valley team. They had Wilson win in a close game. Brooklyn Casey's not a terrible team. They're a pretty solid program.
No, they give May River all they wanted.
Yeah, exactly. For me, I think Bluffton's going to be able to handle Gilbert, but it wouldn't shock me if Gilbert made this much closer of a ball game than I think Bluffton wants it to be. I think
an anxious call for Marcus.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I'm a little worried about this game, but I still think Bluffton's got too much power on offense. And the one thing is their defense has played strong throughout most of the season, better than I expected them to as a defensive unit, because I think that was our biggest question going into the season was how is Bluffton's defense going to look? And they've impressed me all season long on defense. And I think for that reason, I got to take Bluffton here, because I think on defense, they can hold down Gilbert and give the offense a chance to score and keep them away from making this a close ball game. I think Bluffton wins by 2 scores.
All right. By the way, Rolando Hernandez, we haven't talked about him much, but the kicker for Bluffton been really solid. 32 out of 34 on PATs, 2 out of 3 on field goals, long of 29. So we haven't really seen the range yet, and there might not be a lot of range, but he's been really consistent and solid. They just don't settle for field goals. They're going to put him in the end zone.
You mentioned that, Justin, and I watched. I was watching them during their warm-ups before their Bluffton May River game a week ago, and I watched as both their kickers were trying to test themselves from distance. He's got a boot. I mean, he does have a boot, and he can kick it far enough to where if they're in a situation where they're in a situation where they can use him, I think they have confidence that he can kick a decent length field goal. So I think they're in solid. They're in really good shape. Like I think Bluffton's one of those teams that finished, second in the region throughout the entire lower state. That I would say I wouldn't be shocked if they got on a hot streak through the
I
playoffs.
think,
They could take down
I
anyone.
think whoever comes out of there, them, North Augusta, Midland Valley, I think whoever comes out of there is going to give South Florence a game. I don't think it's going to be a walkover. But I could be wrong. South Florence kind of walked through people last year, so, but they're not quite on that level this year, are they?
I don't think they're quite there right now.
They don't have any sellers, do they? The other Sellers is gone now, right? Isn't he at Carolina now?
I think so. I'm
guy's
looking
good.
now.
That guy's stupid good. He was crazy good last year.
He was so good.
Here, let's see.
One. Who's their one loss to?
Northwestern. South Florence. Yeah.
Northwestern.
They're very good. They're very, very, very good. They're the favorite.
I mean,
in the lower state,
I mean they beat Somerville too. So
but I would like to see them play Bluffton. And as Dave Carrick said, don't we all want Hilton Head Bluffton one more time at the Nest for the lower state final?
I mean,
of course we do.
You look at their record. You look at their season so far. I mean, they've played some. Obviously, they played Somerville, and got that great overtime win against Somerville, and then their one loss against Northwestern. That was going to be kind of a given. Northwestern's pretty strong program, but you look at the rest of their games. I mean, Fort Dorchester, Darlington, Wilson, while they're okay, not great. I mean, Lower Richland, Hartsville is okay as well, and Darlington.
Hartsville's pretty good.
Yeah. Who?
Hartsville's pretty good.
Hartsville's strong. Yeah, they're strong.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
But I mean, South Florence blew them out of the water. So I think I agree with you. I think South Florence is very good, but I would love to see them play Bluffton.
Yeah, I would too. Could take the over. Take the over.
Oh yeah.
All right, boys. Well, we previewed all of them. Shout out to Hudson's Seafood House on the docks, the presenting sponsor of Under the Bus. New episode came out Tuesday night. It's over on the Lowco Media Network. Thanks also to Twinge and Twombly, personal injury attorneys, HHI Windows and Doors, Reverence Wrestling Club, our official wrestling sponsor, and also Jay's Barbershop, the place to be in Ridgeland when you need a haircut or not. Let's wrap it up, boys. So let's just keep these parting thoughts brief. I got to get on the bus at 4 o'clock. Well, not the bus. We got to be at the school at 4 o'clock tomorrow morning for the lower state trip to lower state cross country in Columbia. So we got to wrap this thing up. But Marcus, what do you got for a parting thought?
Happy belated birthday. And of course, we celebrated a little bit Tuesday and celebrated tonight in Savannah, but happy belated birthday to my better half for sure. The Funky Bunch. We had a great time in Savannah tonight, and she, as you guys know, is one of a kind. Happy birthday, sweetheart.
Your fiance.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with finance.
Happy birthday,
the fiance,
Sam, aka Funky Bunch, and keep celebrating her birthday for the rest of the week if you're a wise man.
Yes,
Max Raj, what you
got? Come back to me.
Okay, Wes Kerr, what you got?
Some very, very sad news that came across today in the National Football League. Just awful. Yeah, just real tragic. That Marshawn Nealon has died in a looks like it was a suicide at the age of 24, self-inflicted wounds from a gunshot. I mean, just something you never want to see. Awful stuff.
Yeah.
And it came after he had a really good game.
Scored a touchdown.
Last time out. Yeah. Just doesn't make any sense, and it's just really tragic to see players, and take their own lives, or at least partially do so. And there just needs to be more counseling and more opportunities for not just football players, not just athletes, but everyone who's dealing with thoughts of suicide. That there is help available. The National Suicide Hotline, and there are other options, other counseling that are available if you need assistance. But just really, really tragic to see that happen.
And on the same note, the young man from College of Charleston, Austin Kinney.
Yeah.
They determined that he also took his own life at the Ravenel Bridge, which was just awful.
Mm.
So the takeaway from that, folks, is talk to somebody. It's
Honestly.
that's not the answer. There's a better way, and it will get better. But you got to talk to somebody and let people help you through it. Because look, man, we're all going through it. Like if you say you're not, you're lying, or you're twisted. Like something's wrong. Because the world is a hard place right now, and it's
Been that
and
way
it's
for a
got a
long
lot of
time.
people. Yeah, and it's got a
Yeah.
lot of people feeling some type of way, and social media is not helping anything. The constant comparisons and the constant criticisms and everything. It's just I don't know. We're sick
We've
right now. We
we've
got to get
forgotten
better.
how to interact with people
We have.
because
Yep.
the whole
Feels
thing
like it.
too, and I don't mean to start another
No, it's
diatribe of
okay.
negativity, but the whole thing is if somebody has a differing opinion of
Right.
anything
Right.
with somebody, it's
Just
maybe
shunned.
I don't really care for this person as much
Yeah,
as
you're just
I
shunned.
used to.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
Come on.
Yeah. We know too much about each other, I think. Max, what's up, buddy?
All right. Let me get them up here because it is time on a better note
Yeah.
for the
Max's Uni Watch.
Uni Watch. I'm
Oh yeah,
trying to get the third
baby.
one up, but I'll start with this one. University of
Here.
Central Florida wearing
UCF.
their
Oh.
space threads
Ooh,
on
nice.
Saturday.
Cool photo.
Yeah.
Out of this world.
Ooh.
They've always had really cool unis when they do space
Yeah,
threads. I always love
they
them.
do.
Just because the best pictures they've ever had is you'll see them take pictures at night while there's a rocket going up in
Oh,
the
yeah.
sky behind their stadium,
That's
which
cool.
is always really cool to see. Really cool unis. That's not a great picture, but you get
No.
the idea of what they are. Of
Yeah.
course, the Denver Broncos are wearing these tonight.
Yeah. Those are
They're wearing
fresh,
those
but I
a lot
still hate the
lately.
Broncos.
Such nice unis.
The
Oh my God,
throwbacks.
They're great, but I still hate the Broncos.
yeah,
Oh,
They're
yeah,
they're gonna play like
big one
garbage and
looming
get away with the
coming
win.
up against
Yeah.
Kansas City, which would be a ton of fun.
Because they're playing the
The Raiders.
Raiders.
The Raiders they're
the
still in it. It's a 3-point game. Denver's only
Yeah,
up
but
by
this is
7.
what the Denver Broncos do this year. They play like
Yeah.
garbage, and then they somehow win every freaking week.
Yeah, well, their defense is pretty
Yeah.
legit. They've got great defense this year. I
Trying to
don't
find the
see the
second,
Raiders coming back.
third one here. Hold on.
But we'll
Trying to
see.
find it. Can't find it. Oh well.
All right.
So that's it for me.
This concludes
do it.
Max's
Yeah.
Uni Watch. All right. Well, I will close it out by saying shout out to everybody running in the lower state cross country meets this weekend. Run well, run fast, don't turn your ankle, and stay healthy for next week for the state championship. So
Yeah.
Yep.
with that, we're gonna call it a night. I'm gonna get a little bit
Get
of
some
sleep,
sleep.
and then get on the road. So we'll see you tomorrow night for Lowco Pigskin Live. We'll plan on getting rolling about 9:30 or so, but we'll play it by ear. If everybody's at close games, we might push it off a little bit. So just be on the lookout for. Make sure you subscribe to Lowco Media on YouTube so you get a notification when we go live, and then you won't miss it. You'll be able to keep up with all the scores and highlights from the first night of high school football playoffs in the Lowco. So thanks to all of our sponsors. Thanks to my friends, Marcus Walsh, Max Raj, and Wes Kerr. And thanks to you for showing up to listen or watch. Until next time, go Lowco.